Hello, Americans, other friends, subscribers around the world. Back here, man. So it's actually, I started another video here a few minutes ago and done a segment and was taking a little break, and a video came up that they just released footage, police footage and security cam footage of that shooting at the In-N-Out in Twin Falls, Idaho, which was just mind-boggling to me, man. Man, Twin Falls is a small, small little place. And, and I've went back and forth with myself since I watched it to see, if I share that or not. But it's just crazy, and it just shows how fast something can happen that fast. So when I decide I'm going to go ahead and show you this clip of, it's clips of the police cams, and they, like I said, they just released it. KTVB, Channel 7 down in Boise's, where the footage I got, but now it's released out, all over the internet. So discretion is definitely advised, man. If it's something that don't show faces and stuff, it'll go over that. Blocks them out, and it's not gory or nothing like that. It's heartbreaking, definitely heartbreaking and unbelievable.
The video you are about to see contains video and audio from an active shooter incident involving multiple fatalities and injured victims. The video has been edited for length and clarity. Portions have been muted, blurred, paused, or omitted to protect privacy and to avoid releasing graphic material. This video contains content that may be disturbing or traumatic for some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. The gunman arrives at the drive-thru in a white Honda Civic. When he reaches the payment window, the gunman shoots the first victim, Ashley Garibay, who later succumbed to her injuries at the hospital. The gunman proceeds in the drive-thru, parking his car. He then shoots the second victim, Christopher Clonch, in his vehicle, who is pronounced dead at the scene. Former Twin Falls police officer and former Idaho State Police trooper, Austin James, runs towards the incident where he encounters the gunman and is the third victim shot. Mr. James retreats and draws his handgun, preparing to engage the gunman. Due to his severe injury and blood loss, he is pulled back into his vehicle and given aid before going to the hospital. The gunman returns to the payment window and observes employees rendering aid to Ashley. He fires into the window a second time before his handgun jams, and he returns to his vehicle to retrieve a rifle. Inside the restaurant, an off-duty Idaho State Police trooper assists in evacuating patrons and employees while he searches for the threat. With the rifle, the gunman runs back to the drive-thru and fires at nearby patrons before returning to the payment window for a third time. The off-duty ISP trooper and the gunman exchange fire. The gunman retreats before returning to the payment window for a fourth time, firing inside and striking the fourth victim, a Good Samaritan who is attempting to assist the off-duty trooper and render aid to the victim inside. The gunman proceeds to the food window. Upon seeing no one inside, he moves on. In the drive-thru, a woman fleeing from inside the restaurant runs alongside the building before encountering the gunman. She takes cover behind his vehicle and picks up the handgun he left behind. Discovering it is jammed, she discards the pistol as she runs away, and the gunman walks towards Blue Lakes Boulevard North. The gunman fires at multiple vehicles that are stopped at a red light, striking 3 victims. A Good Samaritan with a handgun engages the gunman who is running north towards the Tesla charging station. The gunman shoots the 8th victim in the first Tesla. He then shoots the 3rd deceased victim, Dale Schultz, and his passenger, the 10th victim, in the 2nd Tesla. The gunman proceeds through the parking lot towards the Twin Falls Visitors Center. He is seen by people inside who evacuate the store. The first officer arrives on scene. The off-duty ISP trooper directs him towards the gunman. Three people in the visitors center are unable to evacuate and shelter inside as the gunman enters. Employees from nearby stores evacuate to the walking trail, believing the gunman is in the front parking lot. The gunman exits the visitor's center and proceeds to the trail where he encounters 2 employees. One bravely engages with the gunman, allowing others coming down the trail time to turn around and escape. As they separate, the gunman fires towards the employee. He then runs up the path as officers approach. Officers pursue up the trail searching the pathway, construction site, and canyon edge while receiving reports of a possible second gunman. Between the construction site and Petco, an officer locates the gunman off the trail. Hey! Show me your hands! As the officer challenges him, the suspect dies of a self-inflicted gunshot wound and falls into the canyon. officers immediately begin to investigate claims of a second gunman and return to render aid to victims alongside the firefighters, paramedics, and other personnel. The Twin Falls Police Department is certain that additional acts of heroism and rendering aid to those in need contributed to the saving of lives. This remains an active case. Twin Falls police detectives continue to investigate alongside our partners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Twin Falls County Sheriff's Office, the Idaho State Police, and many other area, state, and federal agencies.
Alright, so I just edited this. But that's the third or fourth time that I've watched that, man, and it's just horrifying. Man, going up to that drive-out window or drive-up window, and you know, the gal's just doing her job, opens up the window, and boom. And then it shows them go up, and that, you know, guy's sitting there waiting for his food and shoots him too. Man. You know, and this is Twin Falls. I just looked it up, man. 56,000 something is the population. You know, which to me, you know, that's a big city. But that's nothing, man, compared to Boise and Meridian and Nampa, and I mean that's just, you know, that's a smaller town, smaller city. And for that, man, it don't matter, you know, wow, man, don't matter where you are, you know, and why'd he do it? You know, they don't have any idea. And then when you're going through it, you know, and they talk about that there might be two shooters right there. That there might be two shooters, and I think that they were talking about Jordan. What is it, Jordan Solanas? You know, and he's got a YouTube. I'm subscribed to a YouTube channel. You know, where he trains with guns and stuff. And from what, you know, I watched his interview, and him and his girlfriend was going to the In-N-Out. They were at In-N-Out and going to get something to eat before they went out horseback riding, and started hearing the shooting or seeing it or whatever, you know, was going on. And, you know, had his, I don't know if it's his carry all the time, man. It's a heck of a pistol to be carrying around all the time, but he has a shoulder holster for it. But when they're talking about the second shooter, I think they were talking about him, you know, because they weren't sure what was going on, or, you know, what. They don't really talk about him in this video. There's a lot of, you know, the Sheriff's Department, FBI, and Police Department, you know, all get up and talk during this interview thing. I just wanted to show the actual footage of, I don't know, I debated on, you know, even doing it, but it's something that, this world has gone nuts, man, everywhere, man. It don't matter, you know, just like the kids, you know, the 8 or 10 kids, and it turned out that boy was punching the girl too, and that, you know, I talked about that a week ago or something, you know, in a little tiny town. That one's, you know, population under 1,000. Man, everybody is, it's going crazy, man. Makes me just want to hide out on the creek bottom. Just do what is going on. You know, I laugh because if not, I'd cry, man. It's a sad, scary world we're living in. But, man, my thoughts and prayers go out to the families and everybody, man. I think it was three I think the count was 3 lost their lives. He killed 3, and I think 7 were wounded or something like that. My count's not positive. And we shot one guy, man. The guy was just charging up his Tesla, was a taxi driver or something. Horrible. Good Lord willing. Them creeks don't rise. We'll be back in tomorrow. See ya.